Back to Two Drs Homestead. My name's Daniel, and this is Prepper Pantry Pick of the Week. And for all the new people to the channel, we really appreciate you. As always, like, subscribe, and share, right? We take you shopping with us once a week. We pick out one item from the store and talk about where it fits into your long-term food storage pantry. Things like cost, calories, nutritional information, shelf life. Try to kind of dig in a little bit on that item and, what happened? What happens if there's a zombie apocalypse, Shtf, and this is all you had? How would you be doing? So how many days worth of food in one container? What's that cost you? I'll use numbers like 2,000 calories or 1,500 calories. 2,000 calories is kind of the daily recommended, and when you look on the back with all the nutritional information, that's generally based on 2,000 calories. 1,500 calories in academia is considered the starvation level, so you certainly want to stay above 1,500 calories, and maybe 2,000 is the average, and that really depends on you, your body, your metabolism, a lot of factors. So I'm not telling you how many calories you need to live on, but if you were living on what they consider the average, that's 2,000 calories. So that's kind of the setup there. Let's jump in a little bit and talk about powdered peanut butter. This is one that's always confused me, and I'll dig into that a little bit, but let's talk about it. This was $10.48 for a container of powdered peanut butter, 71 servings per container, 50 calories per serving. So for $10.48, you get 3,550 calories in this container. So that's a 30-ounce container, 40 servings. So it would take you 40 servings to get to 2,000 calories. So there are 71 servings in the container. If you were going to eat 2,000 calories worth of powdered peanut butter, you'd have to have 40 servings, which works out to 24 ounces. So 24 ounces, powdered peanut butter is 2,000 calories. And I'm going to dig into that more later. I've got some comps: creamy peanut butter, dry roasted peanut butter, and canned peanuts. So we got peanuts 4 ways here. And I do want to compare between them and try to explain why this one always confuses me, the powdered peanut butter. So if you ate 2,000 calories, 40 servings of the powdered peanut butter based on the nutritional information on here, you would get 60 grams of fat, which is 80% of your daily. You get 3,800 milligrams of sodium, which is 160% of your daily. You would get 160 grams of carbs, which is 40% of your daily, and you get 240 grams of protein. So protein, this says 240% of your daily. A lot of foods don't actually have a recommended percentage. This one does, so it's kind of interesting. We see between 50 and 200%. 200 grams of protein per day is sort of the recommended, but that really seems to vary. So a lot of them don't give a recommended percentage. This one does. Also contains iron and potassium, right? So you look at the best by date, we just bought it, 2025, and that's where it gets sort of weird. So it's got a 1-year shelf life, 1-year best by on the container. I did a little research, and people say that the dry peanut butter powder is good between 1 to 5 years, depending on the manufacturer of the dry peanut butter powder. It can go rancid still, so it could be expired, could go rancid. Smell it, look at it. If it smells funny, tastes funny, maybe don't eat it, right? You do you, it depends on the situation. All right, and the ingredients are roasted peanuts, cane sugar, and sea salt. So roasted peanuts, cane sugar, and sea salt. The instructions is you take 2 tablespoons of powdered peanut butter with 1 tablespoon of water for low-fat peanut butter. So this is where I had to dig in a little bit. This is where it gets weird, and we're going to do our comp. So I'm going to compare this, the powdered peanut butter. I want to compare that to the dry roasted peanuts that we got, the honey roasted, dry roasted peanuts, and the Great Value creamy peanut butter. So let's do a compare, because they're all peanuts, right? Your main ingredient on all of them is peanuts and peanuts, peanuts and sugar, and this is peanuts and sugar. So your fundamental ingredients are very similar, yet somehow this is very different. All right, so 2,000 calories. If you ate 2,000 calories of the dry peanut powder, you get 60 grams of fat, right? If you ate 2,000 calories of the regular peanut butter, you get 165 grams of fat, and if you ate 2,000 calories of the dry roasted peanuts, you get 150 grams of fat. So 150 grams of fat, 165 grams of fat, 60 grams of fat. So they've removed a lot of the fat, right? When they powder it, obviously you probably have to as part of the process. It is low fat, and it does describe itself as low fat. So this is a low fat option, right? So what I don't understand is the fat is generally the part of the peanuts that would expire, right? It's the fat that goes rancid. It's not so much the nuts themselves. This has got a 1-year shelf life on the container. My peanut butter, 2-year best by date. My dry peanuts, 2-year best by date. And even my boiled peanuts in cans has a 2-year best by date. This has got a 1-year best by date. And that's the part I don't necessarily understand. They've taken out a lot of the fat, so it should have a longer shelf life. So why does it only have a 1-year shelf life? You could say 1 to 5, but you could say that on a lot of these, right? So that I don't understand, how in the process they've reduced the shelf life, right? And I said, maybe it's marketing, maybe it's just the way it's labeled, maybe it's been sitting in the store a long time, the container seems fine. I don't know when it was manufactured, but it just throws me off. How do you lose shelf life when you're removing the fat? That's the part that goes rancid, right? I don't know. So let's talk about total calories. So in order to get to 2,000 calories, you need 12 ounces of regular peanut butter. You need 12.5 ounces of the dry peanuts. you need 24 ounces of the powdered peanuts to get to 2,000 calories. So basically double. And I assume that's because they've removed a lot of the fat. The fat probably gives you a lot of calories, though this does have sugar and salt in it as well. I think these do too, right? So once again, it's half as many calories for the same number of ounces, same amount of product, and that's not including the weight of the water you'd put in it. So they've stripped out a lot of that, probably because the fat's out. Once again, where'd the shelf life go in that? So cost, if you're building out your long-term food storage pantry and you're going on calories, you've got the cost. So the dry powder for that 2,000 calorie day, you're paying $5.90. The just regular dry nuts was $1.78. And the regular peanut butter was $1.16. So you go $1.16, $1.78, $5.90. So you are paying a lot for that dry peanuts. So once again, I don't get what happens to the shelf life. You would think because it's dry, they've removed the fat, it would be longer, but it's not. So I don't get that. Not my favorite product for that. I can speculate, and I don't want to get sued. And you got to ask, are they just using like expired peanuts when they're making it? I don't know. I'm not saying they are, but I just don't understand how drying it out, removing the fat, adding things like salt and sugar that are preservatives, ultimately has less shelf life. So as I said, it could be a lot of things. I don't know what it is, but this is the peanut butter powder. It certainly has, I guess, a place in your long-term food storage pantry. Once again, you've lost half the shelf life on the container, and it takes more to get to the calories than it takes water. So in that sense, unless the shelf life is a lot longer than it seems, I don't see how it compares, right? If I can buy this, right, for less money, significantly less money, and it's more calorie dense and has a longer shelf life, the dry peanuts, than the powdered peanuts, then what use to the powdered peanuts, right? I don't get that. It says add to smoothies, add water for delicious low-fat peanut butter. So obviously they've removed the fat, but they removed the shelf life. So don't get it. It's there. It's an option. As always, hope that helps out. Thank you for watching, and we appreciate you.